Last session we had studied introduction related to jigs and fixture, then 3 to 1 principle of location, what is the meaning of a location, then objectives plus advantages and disadvantages, why it is used. As we know, jig and fixture is the one of the tool which is used for mainly for mass production. Okay, now today we will discuss the different types of locators and clamping elements which is used in case of your jigs and fixture. So there are different methods are available for location. As we discussed location yesterday, location plays important role for your 3 to 1 principle because it develops or it location develops or it's establish relation between your workpiece and jig and fixture. So it is necessary to identify the location of your workpiece. After identifying the location of your workpiece, we need to restrict the direction of movement of your workpiece to carry out the machining operation properly to get a better accuracy. And after identifying the location, we need to restrict this your workpiece to the specific location. So we are using different methods to restrict your workpiece, to locate your workpiece to the proper position. So what are those different methods? Today we will discuss these methods in details. The locating arrangement decides after Locating arrangement decides after studying the type of work, type of operation, and degree of accuracy required. As we know, it is necessary to identify the workpiece, which operation we have to carry out over the workpiece. This plays important role. So, identification of a workpiece and identification of which machining operation we have to carry out. This plays important role in case of locating of your workpiece. Then second one, type of operation also plays important role, and accuracy, because accuracy plays important role for your assembly or production of your components. So another parameter, volume of a mass production, this is also the important for location of your workpiece. So these are the main four parameters which plays important role for location of your workpiece. So next, first type of your locator is a flat type of a locator. Flat type of a locator. In case of your flat type of a locator, this flat type of a locator is useful for flat machining surfaces. Means it is mainly used for flat machining surfaces, and three different cases of the example we will see it in the next slide. Now see these three figures, which in these three figures represents the method of location using flat locators. This rectangular portion represents your workpiece. In your second case also this is your workpiece, and third case also this is your workpiece. And hash portion represents your flat locator or the fixture part. Okay, in case of your first locator, your workpiece is directly located or located over this flat surface, inclined vertical and horizontal surface flat locator. This is called as your flat locator. And undercut is provided here at this location. And what is the meaning of this undercut and why it is provided for your first figure? Undercut is provided at the bottom surface where these two perpendicular surfaces meets. Okay, these two perpendicular surfaces meets, and main function of this undercut is to remove the curl chips or the burr which is generated after machining process. We need to remove this, which is, and this curl chips is also known as a swarf cleaner. Okay, this is your first figure which represents for locating flat surface. We have to locate your workpiece with the help of this first type of a locator, which is known as your flat locator. Second figure. Now see your second figure. In case of your second figure, in your first figure it is not possible to adjust the length of your workpiece. This is only suitable for some length, or it is only suitable for some kind of a mm, component. So to adjust the length of your workpiece, we are using second type of your figure, which is your second figure. It is also related to the flat head or flat type of a locator. So its name is a flat head button type of a locator. You can identify it is called, why it is called as a button, because we are using this horizontal horizontal button which represented over here, and it is which adjusts the length of your workpiece. According to the length, you can clamp your workpiece, locate your workpiece over the fixture. So flat head button type of a locator is used for flat type of a locator. Then there is no need to made undercut. Why this point is important in your flat head button type of locator? Why no need of your undercut? Because this portion is here which represents it is provided to remove your burrs easily from your locator after machining process. Head of your button is come in contact with your workpiece, and this is called as your horizontal button, which is used for machining of locating of your workpiece. Then the button can be adjusted to decide very fine location of your workpiece. Means we can adjust the length of a workpiece by moving your button horizontally. This is your horizontal button flat head type of a locator. Then third figure, what this third figure indicates, it is a vertical type of a button type. Means we have to restrict this motion. We have to restrict or locate your workpiece at here over this fixture. Then vertical button is used for supporting purpose and locating purpose of your workpiece and adjusting the length of your workpiece. A better arrangement capacity to bear end load, and there is a provision of a swarf cleaning automatically. Means in your second and third case there is no need of providing the undercut to remove the burr after machining process. These are the three main cases of your locating of a flat locators. With the help of these flat locators, you can locate the flat workpiece over the fixture. These locators are mainly used for flat surfaces. Now second case is your cylindrical locators. Cylindrical locators, according to the name, you can identify the cylindrical locator is used for which kind of a workpiece. You can identify lower portion, this lower hash portion. Now see this figure. Lower hash portion represents your work table, and this central portion is your locator pin, and this is the axis of your locator pin, and upper hash portion represents your workpiece. Now your workpiece is clamped with the help of this pin, which is known as your cylindrical locator. Half portion of your cylindrical locator is inserted into the workpiece, and half portion of your cylindrical locator is inserted into the work table for proper location of your workpiece to carry out the machining operation. So this is your cylindrical type of a workpiece. This cylindrical locator is mainly used for locating the hollow drill hole or hollow components, for locating of a hollow components. So, and another part, undercut is provided at the surface of your work table at this position locator. Again, main function of a undercut is to remove the curl chips or burr after machining process. Okay, this is your cylindrical second type of a locator to locate your this workpiece over the work table with the help of this central portion, which is your locator pin. As I mentioned in this slide, this locating components having drill hole, and we are locating with the help of this, and half portion is inserted the face of the jig body around here. It is undercut is also mentioned or provided. This is your second type of a locator. Now we will move to the third type of a locator, which is your conical locator. This conical locator and cylindrical locator both are the same, but the difference between your conical and cylindrical locator you can identify from the first figure. Your locator pin, it is a cylindrical circular, and in your second case it is tapered case. Now what is the advantage of using this conical locator? Again, this conical locator is useful, this upper portion, before going to the advantages or those portion. This upper portion represents your workpiece. We will locate this workpiece over this locator pin over the work table with the help of this locator pin. Means workpiece is located with the help of this locator pin over the work table. Okay, then this taper portion is provided here. Then again it is useful for cylindrical holes or circular hole components. Conical locator pin is used for circular hole components. Again, this conical locator, one of the advantages there, because it is possible to adjust the variety of a size of a components, means different sizes of the holes can be adjusted or located with the help of the conical locator, and it is useful to support the different size of a components, and it has a capacity to accommodate slight variation, as I told you, slight variation in the hole diameter of a component without affecting the accuracy of location, because accuracy of location plays important role to get accuracy of a final product. So this is your third type of a locator to locate your workpiece, cylindrical components. Now we will move to the next type, fourth type, jack pin locator. Jack pin locator, it is used for supporting rough workpiece from the button. Means unmachined components can be located with the help of the jack pin type. This figure represents jack pin type. It is a nut and bolt type of adjustment, and you can locate your workpiece over the fixture with the help of this jack pin locator. And height which is provided to your jack pin is larger, and due to this height you can adjust variety of a size of a components can be located with the help of the jack pin locator. Okay. This is suitable method to accommodate the components which are rough and unmachined. Means unmachined components can be directly clamped over, located over the fixture with the help of the jack pin locator. This is your fourth type. Now we will move to the next type, fifth one, drill bush locator. Drill bush locator, from this figure you can identify there are, your workpiece is circular, means this drill bush locator is useful for locating the workpiece for which is having circular in section. Now your drill bush locator is divided into two parts. This upper portion is your bush locator and lower portion is also your bush locator with the screw. The screw is also provided for adjusting the height of your workpiece. Means we can adjust the height of a workpiece with the help of the screw, and this drill bush locator is used to locate the cylindrical workpiece between two bushes. The bush has conical opening for locating purpose, and it is sometimes screwed on the jig's body for adjustment of a height of a workpiece. This is your fifth type of a locator to adjust the workpiece, circular cylindrical workpiece over the fixture. Now next one, V type of a locator. I think all of you are having idea about V blocks. So it looks like your V block. So we are using V locator to locate the this kind of a shape over the fixture. So this is a quick and effective method of locating the workpiece. Circular plus semicircular components can be located with the help of the V locator, and the main part of a V main part of a this locator is V-shaped block. It is adjustable. Now again this is divided into V-shaped block is divided into V locators is divided into two types. First one, adjustable. First is your fixed V locator, and second one is your adjustable V locator. In case of a fixed type of a locator, it is fixed to the jig body, and it is not possible to move the V shape V locator to adjust the component length. And adjustable locator can be moved axially to provide the proper gripping. Means this portion is adjustable to adjust the size of your workpiece. So this is your next V locator to locate the semicircular and circular component over the fixture. Seventh type. Now here there is the end of your locators. Now we will move to the next part, that is not a seventh type of your locator. Clamping is the another part. As we know, after locating your workpiece, after identifying the shape of your workpiece, means what you have to manufacture from your raw block, then we will clamp your workpiece with the locate your workpiece with the help of this different locating elements. After identifying the workpiece and their accuracy, locate your workpiece over the fixture. After locating the workpiece, we need to restrict the moment. As we studied in last previous session, 3-2-1 principle, we have to restrict the moment, linear moment plus rotational moment. If the rotational moment is given to your component, then we have to restrict these motions to carry out the proper machining operation to get accuracy and to produce your component in minimum time for the mass production. So clamping plays important role. To restrain the workpiece completely, a clamping device is required in addition to the locating device and jigs and fixture. Means we are using jigs and fixture plus we are using locating elements. We again required clamping element to clamp your workpiece over this fixture properly. A clamping device holds the workpiece securely in jigs or fixture against the forces which is applied over during operations. Means we are carry out the machining operation, and while this machining operation, you can identify various forces, cutting forces. FCFT will act over the surface, and your workpiece, it should be rigid and it should be sustainable to that forces. So workpiece is securely hold to the particular location with the help of these clamping devices. So proper clamping in fixture directly influence the accuracy and the required accuracy of a component and quality of a work done it is produced. It is also plays important role. And when we are using these components, jigs and fixture, locating elements, then clamping elements, and with the help of these elements you can manufacture the product within minimum time, so it is reducing the production cycle time. So what are those basic requirements for good clamping devices which is listed below? And we have to consider these parameters. First parameter, it should rigidly hold the workpiece. As I told you in previous points, rigid body plays important role for the accuracy. Second point, the workpiece should not be damaged due to application of a clamping pressure by clamping unit. Clamping means we are we are clamping your workpiece to the particular location. So pressure is applied with the help of this clamping element over the workpiece surface. It should not damage the workpiece. So proper pressure should be applied. The clamping pressure should be enough to overcome the operating pressure applied on the workpiece, as a both pressure act on a workpiece in opposite direction. Okay, this is your third parameter. Fourth parameter, clamping devices should be capable to be unaffected by vibrations generated during the operations. Clamping devices, it should be free from the vibrations, because due to machining forces you can identify the vibrations. Again, it will produce a sign. It should be free from the these vibrations. It should also be user friendly, like it is clamping and releasing should be easy. It should not take larger time for clamping and releasing of your workpiece over the fixture. So it should be user friendly. Maintenance should be easy. These are the main points of your clamping devices while selecting the clamping element, because we have to design jig and fixture. For designing jig and fixture, we have to select the locator. Mm, According to the application, which operation we have to carry out the machining component, we will select the type of locator, we will select the type of uh, clamping element. So for that purpose, clamping and releasing, it should be easy. It should be user friendly. Clamping pressure should be directed towards the support surface or support points to prevent understanding lifting of a workpiece from its supports. This plays also important role. Clamping force face should be hardened by proper treatment to minimize their wear out, because this clamping element is come in contact with your workpiece, so it should be properly hardened with the help of proper treatment process. To handle the workpiece is made up of a fragile material. The face of a clamping unit should be equipped with fiber pads to avoid any damage to the workpiece. fragile material, it should not damage due to application of a pressure by clamping element. It should be avoided. So these are the main factors which we have to consider while selecting clamping device. Okay. Now in the next slide, we will discuss what are those clamping elements. Different types of a clamping elements are used. Now your first type of a clamping element is a strap clamp. It is also called as a edge clamp. It is also called as a edge clamp. Over the one edge you can clamp your workpiece. This is called as a strap or a edge type of a clamp. This type of a clamping is done with the help of the lever pressure acting as a strap on a workpiece. As I told you, lever is applying pressure and this pressure is useful to clamp your workpiece to the proper location after identifying location. So different types of a strap clamps are discussed below. What are those? First type is your heel clamp. Now see this figure which represents the heel clamp. Identify the elements. Your workpiece is placed over this table and this lever is your, which is also known as a heel is provided. Heel is connected to this lever and spring loaded nut again it is provided for proper applying pressure. So to application of a pressure, this spring and nut arrangement is provided. The rotation of a clamp in clockwise direction is prevented and it is allowed in anti-clockwise direction. For releasing the workpiece, clamping nut is unscrewed to remove the workpiece from this location and free the free movement in anti-clockwise direction takes place before unscrewing nut to release the workpiece. So pressure is applied with the help of this lever by tightening this nut in anti-clockwise direction and here the pressure at this one end pressure is applied with the help of the lever. So this is your heel type of a clamp. Now we will move to the next type. Second type, bridge clamp. It is similar to your heel type of a clamp, but again this portion is extended. This is your heel clamp. In bridge clamping, this lever is extended to the another end also. So this is your bridge clamp. In case of a bridge clamp, you can identify two distances are provided: X distance from the central nut and bolt clamping nut, X distance and Y distance. So clamping pressure is depending upon this X and Y distance. We are clamping your workpiece with the help of this lever at this edge. So this is called as a strap clamping. Clamping pressure more as compared to the heel clamp because it is a bridge type, because at this position X and Y distance is provided, so we will identify the pressure applied, it is equal or it is more as compared to a previous case. And clamping pressure is depending upon the X and Y distance. Releasing by rotating the or to release the workpiece, unscrew the nut which is your clamping nut to remove your workpiece from the working location. This is your bridge type of a clamping. Next one, edge clamp or a side clamp. Why it is called as a edge clamp or a side clamp? You can identify from the figure. This workpiece is clamped at a particular edge at some angle. So clamping nut is provided and the spring is provided for the tightening purpose. This is a stud and with the help of this mechanism you can clamp your workpiece at a particular edge at some angle. The surface to be machined is always clamped above the clamping device recommended for fixed length workpiece. This system is recommended for the fixed length workpiece. Then releasing and clamping of a workpiece accomplished by unscrewing and screwing of the clamping nut. Now next type, latch type. Latch type of a clamp. I think latch type of a clamp. All of you are having idea about the latch, which is provided at your door. So latch type of a clamp, it is easy to understand what is a latch type of a clamp. Same mechanism is worked here. The clamping system locked with the help of the latch, which is provided. Then to unload the workpiece, tail end of a latch is pushed so that you can remove your workpiece or the clamp the workpiece at a particular location. It is easy. Time consuming process is reduced with the help of the latch type of a clampings. Um, it is it consumes very less times, and the clamping pressure is not so high as in case of in other cases. So it applies adequate amount of a pressure over the surface of your workpiece, but the life of this latch type of a clamp is less as compared to the previous clamping elements. So latch type of a clamp, it is easy to understand by using the door latch. So next type, equalizing clamp. You can identify equalizing clamp from the figure. It is recommended to apply the equal pressure on the two faces of the workpiece. You can apply pressure by using equalizing clamp on two faces of the workpiece. You can identify from the figure here. With the help of the screw, then the clamp, and these two legs are provided to apply the proper pressure over the surface of the mm, workpiece. The pressure applied can be varied by tightening or loosening of the screw, which is provided at the top surface of your clamping element. So this is your equalizing clamp. Now we will move to the next clamp, power driven clamping. For applying light pressure, we are using light duty clamps, which is acted manually or operated manually because of the small power is required, and it is operated hand clamping mechanism. So pressure which is applied with the help of this light duty clamp manually or small uh, hand clamping, it is variable pressure is applied over the surface of your workpiece and operators fatigue, and it is a more time consuming process. So these are some disadvantages of your hand operated clamps overcome by power driven clamping element. So it overcomes this disadvantages of your light duty clamps with the help of the power driven clampings. The power clamps are operated on the basis of hydraulic or pneumatic power, and the power clamps are high pressure clampings. It applies the equal pressure over the surface of your edge or over the surface of your component. These are quick acting, easily um, easily controllable, reliable, and less time consuming. So it is operated with the help of the hydraulic or pneumatic.